Now, as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including John Cena booked for the Raw after WrestleMania, the WrestleMania stage leaked, did WWE tease Brock Lesnar's return, Triple H addresses his health, a WWE TNA Crossover cancelled due to heat, what does Triple H do when a show goes wrong, and much more. Our first story looks at the champ is here. A big news concerning John Cena is WWE.com has announced that Cena's farewell tour will continue for the 21st April edition of Raw, currently booked for the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And now WWE fans have to wonder whether Cena will appear as WWE Undisputed Champion or as someone who came up short in his WrestleMania 41 title match against Cody Rhodes. Whatever the case, it appears big things are still in store for Cena as he finishes up his WWE career in 2025. Do you think Cena will walk into Raw with the world title? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, the WrestleMania 41 stage leaked. WrestleMania 41 is this week, and fans may be in for one of WWE's most spectacular sets yet, at least if a recently leaked design proves to be the real deal and not a hoax. Ringside News detailed the content of the leaked photo, saying the photo appears to show official WrestleMania 2025 entry stage and ramp production documents, laid open with a full render of the proposed design. The layout showcases a towering multi-level structure featuring massive screens, a long entrance ramp, and what looks like a casino resort-inspired backdrop. Now it seems that WWE is trying to recreate the famous Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas as the stage for WrestleMania 41. This is definitely going to look awesome as wrestlers come out on the grander stage. Next up, Triple H discusses a change in working with CM Punk. Now, how are things between CM Punk and Triple H now that the straight-edge superstar has been back for over 16 months? It's well known that Punk and Triple H were at odds during Punk's first run in WWE, but some recent comments from the game during an appearance on High Performance suggest that things are going very well. We've had a couple of moments since his return. There was one moment where he'd returned and they told him something creatively, and they told me he does not like this. I was like, okay, I'll talk to him. Went and talked to him. What's going on? I told him the creative, and he was like, that's good, whatever. I was like, I know you don't like it. Everybody's told me. Let's be open. WWE's chief content officer detailed what happened and how it changed their once tense relationship. He complained about what it was, and I said, let's go sit and talk about it and come up with something good. That sort of changed. It was like a paradigm shift for us relationship-wise. And now, it's a funny thing for me to say, sitting down and being collaborative with CM Punk is one of my favorite things in TV, because he shares a very similar view at the end of the day of the business as I do. Once upon a time, it seemed like CM Punk would never return to WWE, but that all changed in 2023 when he shocked the world with his return at Survivor Series. While some fans believe Punk wouldn't last long in WWE, given the years of animosity between him and management, it looks like he's in for the long haul, and part of that likely has to do with his better relationship with Triple H. Next up, did WWE tease Brock Lesnar's return? Now it's time for the latest instance of a seemingly off-the-cuff comment inviting speculation that Brock Lesnar is headed back to WWE. Cody Rhodes recently dropped Brock's name on SmackDown, firing up the rumor mill as some WWE fans started buzzing about a potential Lesnar return. However, Fightful Select reports, despite the Brock Lesnar name drop, we were told there had not been consideration or conversations regarding bringing him back. However, one WWE legend believes that Brock Lesnar will return for a massive payday. WWE legend and Hall of Famer JBL spoke on the recent episode of the Something to Wrestle podcast, and host Conrad Thompson asked the possibility of a Brock Lesnar return. JBL mentioned, like anybody, you still like the limelight and the temptation to come back, and it's just not the limelight. There's going to be a figure that comes that has 2 commas in it, and they're going to offer him to come back, and I think he'll take it, and I hope he does. While Brock backers are hopeful that Lesnar will return to WWE sooner rather than later, especially those who were looking forward to a rumored Brock Lesnar vs. Gunther program, the reality is that it's unlikely he'll return until the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE is finished. But even then, if things are even cleared up after that, Lesnar may not return depending on whether Janelle Grant's allegations are proven in the case, as TKO Group Holdings may feel that Lesnar has too much bad publicity. Again, depending on what, if anything, is revealed within the case. Next up, a WWE TNA Crossover Cancelled. There's intriguing news concerning a rumored program that would have seen TNA World Champion Joe Hendry work a main roster program in WWE. Fightful Select reports that WWE was working to pit Joe against The Miz earlier this year, that things fell apart, reportedly because former TNA executive Ariel Schneider opposed to the booking, which if the story is accurate, would have seen Joe lose in his first match against The Miz. While rumor has it that this loss would have started a major program against The Miz, that didn't happen. Fightful also noted there was apparently some heat on Schneider in NXT when talent asked that he not be allowed in the locker room. Schneider was released from TNA in March, which begs the question whether WWE put any pressure on TNA to release him. Regardless, Schneider's stand, assuming that he was opposed to Joe jobbing with The Miz, is understandable, as The Miz, despite being a great talker and worker, is right now a glorified jobber, and having one of TNA's top stars lose to him would have been embarrassing. It also doesn't help that The Miz has the most losses in WWE out of any superstar in history. Next up, what Triple H does when a show goes wrong. The WWE Universe has seen some fantastic TV since you-know-who retired from WWE, but even under Triple H, there are occasional flubs. But how does Hunter deal with the occasional failure? During his chat with High Performance, Helmsley addressed how things can go bad and how to react. What did I miss? Why? Sometimes it just doesn't. I envisioned it this way, but it didn't come out that way on paper. You know, it's just part of the creative process. Like nobody writes a movie or a book or something and thinks like, I'm gonna make this pretty good, or I'm gonna know to, I'm looking to shoot a mediocre movie here, right? But then it just doesn't come out the way you envision it coming out. Whatever changes, people didn't buy it the way they did. The performance wasn't the way you expected it to be. It didn't get the shot the way you wanted it to be. Now there's much to be said for how WWE's improved its continuity, ensuring that things that happen one week play out over subsequent weeks. WWE has also improved by doing its best to ensure every match and segment means something and doesn't look like filler. Nevertheless, Triple H acknowledged that despite the best intentions, there are failures. You know how stuff is like, right? So if there's an emotional moment you need to capture and it's just during the wrong camera shot when the emotion happens and you're like, God, they missed it. Like, oh my God, right? And you just think like, that just didn't work the way I wanted it to. But that's okay. Like, why didn't it work that way? Like, why? And sometimes there's reasons and sometimes it's just the way it worked out. It didn't click. But while live TV makes for some exciting moments, particularly since fans don't have to deal with spoilers from pre-tape shows, filming shows like Raw or SmackDown is akin to walking a tightrope as wrestlers, backstage personnel, and everyone else involved have to deal with the unexpected, whether it's a tire malfunctions or an in-ring botch or a technical issue. But according to Hunter, you can't dwell on it. Are there things I would change? Are there, moments or creatively where you think like, God damn, that was terrible or whatever? Sure, you have a bad event. We all have these sayings in the business. Well, that was bad. Oh, we do get to do it again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, if Friday's SmackDown show wasn't very good, well, we'll get to do it again. And WWE has no off-seasons, and it's the show must go on mentality means that there's little time to dwell on the past as new challenges await. So you just got to get back into the next creative groove and go, you just have to be careful that it doesn't become a rut. That you start like, I think about it in sports all the time. People get themselves in slumps, hitting in baseball or whatever, because they start to lose their confidence, start to lose their thing. Like you can't do that yourself. But Triple H's comments on avoiding failing into a rut are noteworthy because some fans believe the build to WrestleMania 41 has been tepid and a sign that WWE may be falling into a rut. What do you guys make of Triple H's take on things? Is it best to just not dwell on things? Next up, Triple H addresses his health. That's good news for fans wondering how Triple H is doing after the 2021 serious health scare that led to emergency surgery to address a real-life threatening ailment with his heart. The cerebral assassin recently spoke with the High Performance podcast about many things, including his health. I've defibrillated my chest. I don't think about it, and it's never gone off. My heart is 100%, and I'm healthy. Now, it's great news that Triple H feels healthier than ever, but as for ever returning to the ring, he mentioned, I've said this a bunch, I'm short of a health scare because my health is great, my heart is 100% and I'm healthy, and I do everything I want to do, except wrestle, which I don't want to do anymore anyway. But Triple H is busier than ever as he leads the WWE's creative team through arguably the WWE's most successful era. And while his in-ring career is over, it's good to know that his cardiac health issues are no longer a concern. And finally, is a huge NFL star appearing at WrestleMania 41? And last but not least, will NFL legend Tom Brady show up at WrestleMania 41? During a chat with Fox News, the iconic quarterback remarked, I may be there, but it's amazing what's going on there. It's amazing what's happening with WWE and all the different things surrounding that. Brady is part owner of the NFL franchise, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the team plays at the Allegiant Stadium, the venue for this year's WrestleMania. Given Brady's ownership interest, WrestleMania's history of bringing in football players, and TDA Holdings' fondness for bringing in big names to hype WWE events, a Brady appearance certainly shouldn't be ruled out.